Hey guys, how's it going? I am Danconia and welcome to the Overwatch World Cup Roundup. Yes, the Roundup doesn't stop for long and we are back for the World Cup. The World Cup starts this weekend. The first qualifiers begin in Incheon, I believe. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. It's just outside of Seoul. We have 4 qualifying areas as per usual. This is Incheon in South Korea, Los Angeles in America, Bangkok in Thailand, and Paris in France. Now, our first, as I said, is in Incheon, and it will feature South Korea, Finland, Hong Kong, Japan, Russia, and Taiwan, or otherwise known as Chinese Taipei. The other three, Los Angeles qualifier will feature the United States, Austria, Brazil, Canada, Norway, and Switzerland. The Bangkok qualifiers will feature Thailand, Australia, China, Denmark, Spain, and Sweden. And the Paris qualifier will feature France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Poland, and the United Kingdom. Now, we're going to concentrate pretty much on Incheon for today. It's going to be the first set of qualifiers for the Overwatch World Cup, competing for those places at Blizzcon. The format is as follows. A bit different to last World Cup. There are 6 teams, obviously, and they will go into a big group of 6 and battle it out for 2 qualifying places for Blizzcon. Everyone will receive $15,000 though for making it this far, because it's based on your country's average SR, I believe. It's a bit confusing, but you can find all of those statistics on the Overwatch World Cup website, which will be linked below. So, first and second go to BlizzCon, the other 4 will miss out. Of course, you've got the big boys in South Korea here, the current holders of the competition as a whole. These matches will take place on August the 17th, August the 18th, and August the 19th. So over the weekend, basically. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're living in the UK like I am, it might be other days, depending on where you live. Now, let's go through the teams and their players. We start off with South Korea. Now, it's kind of interesting, because the actual teams, I believe, this year are bigger than they were before. So bear with me. It works as follows. Each team has selected 12 overall squad players, but 12 will not actually travel to these events. There will only be 7 at each event. So you can take a selection of 12 players to the qualifiers, and then perhaps a different selection of the 12 players to the actual finals at Blizzcon in November. So let's start off with Korea, as I said. Now, the 12-man squad for Korea is Carpe, Jonak, Libero, Fleta, Kariv, Meko, Animo, Sabiobi, Fate, Fury, Fisher, and Ark. That's the 12-man Korea squad. From what I'm getting the gist of, I have also the teams that will be attending the qualifiers. For South Korea, this will be Ark, Jonak, Fate, Meko, Carpe, Libero, and Sabiobi. That's the 7-man team. A lot of NYXL in there. Quite little London Spitfire. Fury will not be travelling for the qualifiers. Very interesting. Of course, South Korea announced their squad before the end of the Overwatch League final, and yeah, perhaps there would have been a profit in there or something if they'd had their chance, but obviously the DPS lineup for South Korea, as all the other positions basically, is so rich and so plentiful. They have got so many fantastic players to choose from. It's a bit biased, to be honest, isn't it? And that's why we all think South Korea are too good. Although this World Cup could be different. Now, we move on to Finland. Finland's 12-man squad is Fraggy, Taimu, Ripper, Davin, LH Cloudy, Big Goose, Linkser, Zuppe, Zappis, Massa, RCK, and Shaz. Some of them they're a mix of Contenders players and Overwatch League players. The 7-man squad they will be taking to the qualifiers are Shaz, Big Goose, both from the LA Gladiators, Fraggy from the Philadelphia Fusion, Zappis from the Florida Mayhem, Davin from Team Gigante and Contenders, Linkser from the Houston Outlaws, and Taimu from Dallas Fuel. Good to see Taimu back in a Finnish shirt once more. And those two teams kind of make up the sum total of Overwatch League players that will be taking part in this qualifier. Because the other 4 teams, out of the other 4 teams, there's only 2 more Overwatch League players. Fascinating, that will be travelling to the qualifiers anyway. So, we move on to Hong Kong. Hong Kong will take Miku W or Mikau, Mue, GZQQ, Hades, Jazzy, I'm Crazy, Mangalongai. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I really do apologise. And Yi Wind. There's a smaller squad for Hong Kong. They've chosen a few less players, and the team they will be taking, I believe that's only actually 7 players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they've got to cut that down by 1. They will be taking Am Crazy, Mango Jai, Jazzy, GZQQ, Yi Wind, Mue, and Miku. I'm not quite sure how to say that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. That is the Hong Kong squad. The 2 DPS, which is Miku and Mue and Mango Jai, are from Hong Kong Attitude, Pacific Contenders, and Jazzy is from LGD Gaming, also in Contenders. That is your Hong Kong squad. Now we move on to Japan. If my voice will let me. Japan will be oh god, how am I going to say this? Oh god, I'm going to butcher this. I'm sorry, hold on a second. Let me get something I understand. Japan, who are taking Amken, Depp, Pocky, Rimline, Claire, Yoz, Hoshimi, Taewonyo. Oh god, I'm going to get roasted. Ken Mahoro, Samurai D, Jeffrey, and Sabagod. I'm sorry if I butchered those names. There are 3 players from Greenleaves, and then all apart from 1 are from Cyclops Athlete Gaming. I'm sorry if I butchered those names. I really do apologise, but I'm not good at pronouncing stuff that I don't really understand. The 7 being taken, the captain is the coach is XQQ. The supports are Claire and Sabagod. The tank is Samurai D. 2 flexes in Ken Mahoro. Sorry. Taewonyo. And the 2 DPS will be Depp and Ameken. That is your Japan squad. They are ranked 10th coming into this in the world. So, moving on. We have Russia. Russia, you'll probably notice, will be home to more Overwatch League players. Russia will be taking Bez Palevo, Rez, Shadowburn, Vlad, Mistakes, Taxel, Eng, La, Main, Unfixed, Alexi, and Tonic. Out of those, going to the qualifiers will be Main, Eng, Tonic, Taxel, Unfixed, Mistakes from the Boston Uprising, and Shadowburn from the Philadelphia Fusion. I apologise. Unfixed, Taxel, Eng, and Main are from CIS Hope in European Overwatch Contenders. Your last team is a bit. It's kind of weird. On the Overwatch World Cup website, they are called Chinese Taipei. On Wikipedia, they're called Taiwan. Choose which one you want to say. Anyway, Chinese Taipei or Taiwan will be taking Shayulin, Ating, Restia, Kant, D Crown, Oyo, CQB, Kiyomi, Blue, One, Han, and Krazis or Kraz1S. It could be Krazis, I expect. Damn these gamer tags. And going to the qualifiers will be Oyo, Kras1s, Ating, Tenten, Kant, Blue, and Xiaolin. Xiaolin, Tenten, and Ating are part of Hong Kong Attitude, and Blue, Kras1s, and Oyo are part of Nova Esports. All, I believe, in the Pacific arm of Overwatch contenders. So, there are your squads. I apologise if I butchered some of the names. I'm deeply sorry. Not my forte. So how will this work out? They're played over 3 days, as I said. I'm going to give you the matches now. On August the 17th at 4 AM BST, British Summer Time, Russia will take on Hong Kong. Straight after that match, at 5:45 AM BST, Korea will take on Taiwan or Chinese Taipei. South Korea, I should say. After that match at 7:30 AM BST, Hong Kong will take on Finland. At 9:15 AM BST, Russia will take on Japan. And on the same day at 11 AM BST, the final match of the day will be Finland taking on South Korea. Right. Whew. Next day. This is a Saturday, August the 18th. Same times as before. 4 AM BST, you will have Hong Kong taking on South Korea. At 5:45 in the morning BST, you will have Japan taking on Taiwan or Chinese Taipei. At 7:30 in the morning, you will have Russia taking on Finland. At 9:15 in the morning, you will have Taiwan or Chinese Taipei taking on Hong Kong. And the last game of the day at 11 AM will be South Korea versus Japan. Day 3, which is the Sunday, I believe, 4 AM BST, you will have Finland taking on Japan. At 5:45 AM, you will have Russia taking on Taiwan or Chinese Taipei. You will have Russia versus South Korea at 9:15 in the morning. And then the final match of those qualifiers will be Taiwan versus Finland, or Chinese Taipei versus Finland, at 11 AM on that day. And that will be the final match of those qualifiers. By then, we will know who will be going to Blizzcon from the Incheon qualifiers. Who would I have my money on? South Korea has surely got to be is going to be the favourite to take number 1 spot. Number 2, though, is really interesting. On paper, Finland look really, really strong. But honestly, we could see a surprise from Russia. But I think the 2 strongest teams in this 6 pool of teams will be South Korea and Finland. Russia are a close third. I think Russia will just miss out though. Unfortunately, I don't think Hong Kong, Japan or Taiwan or /Chinese Taipei are strong enough to try and knock either Finland or Russia off their perch. Certainly not South Korea, although we might have a surprise. The venue is Paradise City, by the way, and there is $15,000 for everyone who takes part. It's a really interesting time because I love the Overwatch World Cup, and with the Overwatch League creating this sort of... I know a Korean team, even though they're called London, a Korean team won the Overwatch League. None of those said Korean players will be taking part in these qualifiers because South Korea didn't take them. So, New York Excelsior are obviously a brilliant team. We saw that throughout the season. Much of the South Korea team is made up of New York Excelsior players. One interesting thing is there is no flower for South Korea this time around. Remember when South Korea took part in the 2017 World Cup? A certain very young DPS player called Flower made a name for himself, especially against the USA at BlizzCon. It was very interesting. Flower is now playing for Excelsior's Academy XL2, but he wasn't old enough to play for Excelsior's first team in the Overwatch League because he was too young. Now, I don't... As a whole, the Overwatch League has improved things in terms of diversity. simply because I don't think South Korea is as dominant as it was previously. USA took South Korea in the finals very close last year. I think it will be even closer this year. If we are perhaps ready to see South Korea dethroned, there are a host of teams who could do it. There's underdogs, there's obvious teams like the USA who could take South Korea's crown, but South Korea are ultimately favourites for the whole competition. They always are, because they are so bloomin' good. But coming back to this qualifier, I would expect South Korea to get through, and it to be a tussle between Finland and Russia for that second spot. Perhaps Japan might surprise us, but I really don't think Hong Kong and Taiwan can actually contend with them considering their rankings. But I really think it will be a tussle between Finland and Russia, with most likely Finland coming out of it, and we'll see Finland and South Korea at Blizzcon. But that will be it for this roundup. After this week ends, there is a bit of a gap for the Overwatch World Cup, and I think it's purely because of the All-Star weekend for the Overwatch League, where some players will be at that, but the next qualifiers aren't until the first week of September, where you will have the Los Angeles qualifiers, where you start to see the USA, Canada, Norway, XQC back on the stage for Canada. Should be interesting, shall we say. It should be very interesting to see XQC back competing once more. I will be back this time next week with the roundup for the results out of this qualifier, and also perhaps some details on the All-Star games for the Overwatch League, which I believe take place not very long after that. 22nd-ish, I think. I'm not quite sure, but certainly not very far after this qualifier, the All-Star games will take place. So, really looking forward to that. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. See you then!